Hello, and welcome back to the Bench Buddies podcast. It has been an absurdly long time since our last episode, but we are back better than ever before. We're a little short-handed. It's just me and JD. Um, it's probably how it's going to be in the near future for most episodes, as Colton and Aiden are both busy, and they said that they didn't want to devote the time to this that it would take. So you're stuck with me and JD.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm happy to be here. So that's all that matters. And football is back better than ever, especially the Euros and the Copa America. But the Euros have been exciting, to say the least.
It's coming home.
That's if Italy doesn't win it.
Well, we can get into that. I guess we can just start
I guess
with
so.
the Euros.
All right.
Do you want to get into Group A?
Group
and what's
A.
gone on?
Oh, Turkey. What happened with Turkey? Oh, my.
Turkey had a mare.
They look so good in qualifying. And World Cup qualifying, they beat the Netherlands. They took points off of France. They looked really good coming into the tournament. And they had like Yilmaz, who's one of the top scorers in Ligue 1. They had pretty decent team, but I didn't expect them to not get a point.
Well, let's be honest. They played atrociously bad. They scored one goal in 3 games.
And it was
the top goal scorer in Ligue 1 on your team.
Yeah. And the goal was like while they were 2 or 3 down.
Yeah. They got absolutely battered every game. They got baked up on a platter by Wales of all teams.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing what happened to them. And everyone thought, people in their predictions,
they would be second or first in the group.
They had them going to like, some people had them in the semifinals. And I was like, people are nuts. I think in my prediction, I had them going through to the 16 in third place.
I think I had them in the quarters because I think I had them in second.
I'm pretty sure I put Switzerland in second.
I had Wales bottom of the group.
I did too. I never in a million years would I have thought that Wales would have been second in the group, but
yeah,
here we are.
I mean, Switzerland have been insane since the loss they lost to Italy, right? Yeah, they lost to Italy, but then they beat Turkey. Right, they beat Turkey after that. That was a good game. And then the game against France in the round of 16.
I mean, we can get into that when we start hitting the round of 16 so far, because as at the time we're recording this, the round of 16 is not completely done yet. Wait, no, it is completely done.
It is?
Yeah, it is completely finished. So
yeah, today's the last day.
Do a full round of 16 recap and predictions from there. But yeah, just looking at Group A, completely. I mean, we both knew Italy would have been top of the group.
Yeah,
I figured they would have went 3 for 3 as well, like they did. They've been pretty dang good in their last run of games before the tournament, and then they just carried over.
Up until the Austria game, they hadn't conceded a goal since December of 2020.
Yep. All they needed to do was to get their offensive weapons firing, and then once that happened, they started bagging goals.
Oh yeah. No, I think that was pretty inevitable, them topping that group. It's just, I think Turkey shocked the majority of people.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I mean, Switzerland didn't really shock me. They have some
I
really
had
good
them third.
players. They have
I
some
had
really
them
good
third.
players on their team. One
Hmm.
of which is Zakaria. I
He's
mean,
nasty.
say
He's
Zakaria held that midfield together and absolutely basted Turkey.
he is different. Gravy. He is insane. And I'm pretty sure he was linked with Man City last summer because he was pretty good in the UCL. And that Mönchengladbach team, he's pretty much the only thing they had going in that. Was it round of 16?
Yeah.
He's pretty much the only thing they had going that game. It was
Didn't
through him.
he tear an ACL?
I
He
think,
did
yeah, he
something to
got
his
hurt.
leg in this
He
past
was,
season. So this was like his first run of games back.
yeah, this is his first time back since. Did he play that UCL game?
I'm not 100% sure.
Let me check.
But while you're checking on that, we can talk about Wales for a second. The Gareth Bale carry, I didn't think that he could actually do it.
Yeah, I
But
didn't think he would. No, Zakaria played versus City.
he did. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. But again, that's so long ago that I wasn't sure.
yeah. He started both games.
Yeah. Which he's an incredible talent.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing if he moves this summer, or I think he's a free agent come
Next
next
year.
summer
Yeah.
if he doesn't move. So that'll be interesting to see who goes in for him. I would love Man United to go in for him. I think we need a defensive midfielder,
He'd be so good in United. That
but
he slots right in for Scott McTominay.
but
Actually, I don't know because Scott McTominay at the Euros,
Scooby Doo,
he was playing
Scooby
pretty
Doo.
good. Didn't he play center back one game?
Oh God, he probably did. Their coach just slaps
Yeah.
him around everywhere.
But anyways, um, I think that's all of Group A pretty much done. Wales, I didn't expect them to finish second. I didn't even think they'd finish third. I thought they'd be bottom
I thought they wouldn't.
because
I thought they would have 0 points.
apart from Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, I didn't think they'd have anyone. I mean, Nico Williams, but he doesn't get game time at Liverpool. So it's like you can't really.
Yeah, no one really knew that was going to happen. Moving on to Group B. I mean, any surprise that Belgium was top of that group?
No.
No.
And 3 out of 3 was expected from
Yeah,
Belgium.
yeah, I agree. Thought that Denmark would come second, not
Mhm.
in the circumstances that they did come second in.
No. No.
I never would have predicted what happened to Ericsson to ever happen.
No.
And it's just crazy to me that they still somehow
They still went on and
found a way through.
yeah. No. But I didn't expect Russia to finish bottom of the group.
I didn't either. I definitely thought Finland would be bottom. I didn't
Yeah.
even know Finland could get a point.
No, I didn't. Because, like, I hate to sound this way, but the Finland team, the only people I can think of are Timo Werner and Hiradeck.
Timo Werner, Timo
Timo
Pukki,
Pukki. Oh, yeah. I mean, Timo Pukki's better, but
Pukki madness.
nah. But
Pukki knows how to
all I know is
score.
Timo Pukki and Hiradeck, the keeper.
Yeah, I mean, Radecki carried them.
Has Pukki even scored?
I don't think he scored this Euros. No, I don't even know who their goal scorers were.
They scored one goal, and it was the guy that scored against Denmark.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of didn't agree with them going on and playing that game
No.
the same
Mm-mm.
day that that happened. So I'm just glad that Denmark went ahead and made it through. And again, I mean, thoughts and prayers to
Yeah.
Ericsson, but I think he's doing okay now. I don't know if he'll ever be
Yeah.
able to play again, which kind of
I don't
sucks.
know. I don't know because the thing that happened with Daily Blind a few years ago, he got he got the same heart device put in his chest, and he's still playing. I mean, I think he started for Netherlands in the Euros,
Hmm.
so you never know.
I mean, I guess it'll be up to him and his family what he decides he wants to do. It's probably high risk of re-injury if he keeps playing, but
It'll have to be one of those things that just with time he'll make a decision. I hope I hope he can come back
I,
because
I hope
I've
he can
I've
too.
I've never been a Tottenham or an Inter fan, but I liked watching Christian Eriksen play.
Yeah, I've always
And
respected Ericsson, even though I'm a United fan and he played for Tottenham. And yeah, I've always respected him.
yeah, but moving on to Finland, I didn't expect the the win against Denmark under the circumstances. It's like, okay, I understand Denmark losing because they're playing right after watching that happen.
And it wasn't just like any player would have been bad, but
Yeah,
specifically it was their superstar player
yeah.
that goes down, your captain,
It
like,
was no, it wasn't the K. It was he's not the
oh,
captain. It's the guy
yeah.
that plays the center back from Milan.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. But still
But I understand what. Yeah, they're arguably best player.
goes
Um,
down like that. And then they're like 3 hours later, they're like, all right, get back out there,
yeah,
hit the pitch and play, lads. Let's go. It's crazy to me.
yeah. But Russia, oh my, I I don't know what went wrong there.
Uh, I think Russia's biggest problem is age. Most of their players they're just getting old now. They don't have any.
Yeah,
They have a few players in their prime, and then a couple. Most of their players are past their prime, and I don't know if they have many
I
young
mean,
talents there. I mean, Zubat, like, how old even is he now?
I can
Like,
check.
say their team is just Zuba
He's
is
32.
like, I'm sorry, but with
I mean,
the modern game and the way it's played, you
they're
can't
just
have,
there.
like, he can be there and players of similar age. I mean, Ronaldo's Ronaldo and he's
36.
36, but
Yeah,
he doesn't count because he's one of
he's
the
just
greatest players to ever play. And I feel like even when he's 45, he would be better than most people when they're 25 because
yeah,
he's Ronaldo. So it just doesn't count.
yeah. No, yeah, I just didn't expect them to because after I guess what they did in the World Cup when they hosted it, they did really well because they beat Spain in the round of 16, I'm pretty sure. But it's like no, coming up to this, like they beat Bulgaria in a friendly, they drew with Poland, they beat Slovenia. I mean, they didn't do particularly well, but
Um,
I thought they'd perform better than they did.
yeah, I thought they would at least, I thought that they would finish third, and
Yeah.
I actually didn't put them making it to the round of 16. I think I had them on third with 3 points because
Yeah.
I thought they would beat Finland and then lose to Denmark and Belgium.
Which
But
they did do. But I think the thing that killed them the most was losing to Denmark 4-1.
yeah,
Because yeah, they're at the bottom with a -5 goal difference. So
yep. But moving on to Group C, I mean, I had no surprise with the
I
way that this
thought
group finished. I actually got it correct
I
in the
thought
lineup.
Ukraine I flipped Ukraine and Austria. I thought Ukraine would finish second because Ukraine has some actual decent young talent.
Well, I know Ukraine is good, but I just knew that the way Austria plays is very annoying to play against.
Yeah,
And if you don't have a extremely super talented team like the Netherlands, it's hard to break Austria down.
then I have to say the Netherlands shocked me because I thought it'd be a closer group than it was. Because I mean, the Netherlands they drew with Scotland in a friendly, and I mean, yeah, you can say what you want, it's a friendly or whatever, but they weren't playing the way they line up to, like the way their coach lines them up. It's like it's a weird. They play a weird style under. Well, he's not the coach anymore. He actually just got fired today. That's breaking news. But the way they play, or I guess played, was just weird.
Well,
And
any Dutch team that's not in a 4-3-3, their fans are not going to be happy about. And he refused to play a 4-3-3, which honestly, for
he
the
has
way
the
that their
players.
team worked, I think what he ran was effective, at least in the group stage. I mean, you came out with 9 points.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see what there is to complain about, but at the same time, I get it. Their heritage is that they've always ran a 4-3-3. They were the inventors of it, but still, I couldn't tell you why that they did that. But I mean, I had no surprise that North Macedonia came in fourth place with 0 points. I'm honestly surprised that they scored 2 goals. I have no idea of anyone who plays on their team. I don't know any of their players. I couldn't name one. I still couldn't, and I watched them play. Uh, they kind of got dominated every game that they played.
yeah.
But who was it they gave it a scare to? Was it
I think it was
the Netherlands?
it might have been. I thought it was Austria. I'll go look.
No, it was Austria, I think.
No, it was either Austria or Ukraine.
It was Ukraine. Ukraine was 2-1.
Yeah, because they started to come back that game.
Yeah, that's just no surprise to me that they were there. So this is one of the few groups I actually got right, because when we move on to the next group and you look at the top 3 teams here, never in my life would I have predicted the Czech Republic to be third.
No, I did. I did.
I thought they would have been fourth, but I think I had 3 points to them and 3 points to Scotland, and Scotland on goal difference in third.
No, I got this one right because I had England top. You know, it's coming home, whatever. And Croatia second, and I had Czech Republic third because Czech Republic I knew Suchek, Kufal. I didn't expect what Patrick Schick did to happen. But I knew the Czech Republic had a pretty solid team. Like,
I mean, they do. And obviously, everyone knows that now. But considering they're still in the tournament, which blows my mind that they're still here, but they are. Honestly, Croatia kind of shocked me. They kind of played bad for their standards of play. I mean, they came off of doing great in the World Cup to tragedy here. And I mean, they lost to England in the first game. I really thought that was a game that they could at least get a point.
Yeah, I feel like they could have drawn that game.
because of the way Southgate plays England, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
anybody
The,
can get a point off of them because they don't attack.
a game that surprised me in that group was Scotland and England because I expected England to be the more dominant team, but from what I didn't get to watch it, but from what I heard, it's almost as if Scotland, yeah, they had more chances. Scotland
Well,
had more chances.
Southgate just, my problem with him is the way he does things with England. Now, he knows how to win, but just the way he does it is so annoying. Like, he's like the weekend league FIFA merchant that plays drop back one depth, five in the back every weekend, and then they just scrape 1-0s and PK wins and go 30-0. Like, that's his
Yeah.
luck. That's just what he does. Like, that England team he took to the World Cup semifinals was not that good.
Mm-mm.
This England team that he has right now is the best team that England has seen in a very long time, talent wise and attacking talent, especially. But he chooses instead to use 5 defenders every game and 2 defensive midfielders when you have the likes of Sancho, Grealish,
Yeah.
Rashford, Sterling,
Oh,
Foden,
yeah.
Kane, and you're going to play 5 in the back with 2 holding mids.
The
It just
lineup he
blows my
started
mind.
versus Scotland was kind of okay. Reece James, Stones, Ming, Luke Shaw, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, Mount, Foden, Kane, Sterling. Now Sterling has performed well, but that front three, I would have gone Grealish, Kane, Sancho.
That's what I would have done because you're putting arguably your 2 most creative players
Because I mean, look at
beside a clinical finishing striker. Yes,
and it,
Harry Kane does not have the pace of Ronaldo or even
and
Rashford, someone like that. He doesn't
yeah,
have the pace, but his just nose and hunger to score is so impressive.
but I mean, like he's not even like just a goal only striker. Like he got the playmaker award in the previous year. He is creative. Like I think I forgot how many assists it was, but he's he's the only reason Tottenham finished as high as they did. I
So
forgot where
far,
it
though,
was.
in this Euros, he's
He
kind of
was
struggled a little bit.
yeah.
Now, he still has time to redeem himself, obviously, because England are still here. But so far, he's scored what? Has he scored 1
I think it
goal?
was
I
one.
think it
Yeah,
was 1,
I
and it
think it's
was
just the one.
today.
Mm-hmm.
So just considering that he hasn't played as great as I would have thought. And then Scotland, just them coming fourth, I thought they would be third. I didn't think they would actually make it to the round of 16. So I'm not surprised that they're out right now, that they didn't make it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not surprised that they drew with England. I really thought England were going to get out of the group with 5 points, that they were going to draw Croatia and Scotland and then beat the Czech Republic. Just because I just know how England are with Southgate. And I
Mm-hmm.
just already marked that Scotland was going to be a draw. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be a 0-0 and an absolute
No.
snooze fest to watch because any game where there's no goals, trust me, I know I'm a Man United fan. 0-0 is our specialty.
I'm a Burnley fan. Nils are boring.
I can't believe I wake up some weekends
Yeah. the
at
the
7 in the
first
morning to watch a 0-0.
the first game of the year is Burnley versus Brighton, and I'm just gonna sleep in because it's gonna be 0-0.
Yeah, you can already chalk it up to a 0-0. But honestly, Scotland's best player had to be Scooby Doo. I mean,
Or
Scott
Kieran
McTominay
Tierney.
played very good. Tierney played good as well. But Scooby Doo in the midfield,
Scott he was man of the match versus England, was he not?
he was. I, I don't even know. Why can't he?
He played right center back that game.
He's so inconsistent. That's my problem with him. Is some
Uh-huh.
games like when we played Leeds
Or when
and
you
the
played against
first
City.
time, we played Leeds the first time. The man was on a hat trick in like the first 15 minutes. Scott McTominay, what? Uh, and then he goes to the next game and he can barely pass the ball.
Yeah.
It just is so confusing to me how inconsistent he is. I get it. He used to play as a striker in our academy, and then we moved him to a defensive mid because I mean he's like 6'5", so it just makes more sense for him to play in a midfield role or even a defending role. Ole hasn't tried that yet, but I read an article that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that he's looking to try Wan Bissaka at center
Center
back
back. Yeah. Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
preseason.
He's been playing too much FIFA.
Yeah, he's gonna play a right back at center back.
No. That's that's stupid.
But moving on to
No,
Group E. Group E, I mean, this is a quick one. Sweden, how are they first?
they have played better than Spain. I think it has to be said though, Morata had chances to get Spain to the top of the group and just didn't convert.
Yeah, Morata definitely had a couple bottle jobs. And
But I mean, fair play to Sweden. They beat Ukraine. Or no, they lost to Ukraine. I don't know why. That was the first game that pulled up. No, they lost today, sadly. But
yeah,
they beat Poland, which Poland didn't perform well at all.
I didn't think that they would. I
No,
mean,
it's just
it's
Lewandowski,
just
pretty
Lewandowski.
much.
It's like he can only carry so much.
And
So
he's never really been good in international tournaments. It's just in
no.
that Bayern team and I guess his Dortmund team when he played for Dortmund where he's performed well.
Well, to give him some kind of fallback is at least at Byron, he has help. At
Yeah,
Poland,
yeah.
he doesn't have much. So he can't do everything. Slovakia, I mean, they did about what I thought they would do. I thought 3 points that they'd knock off somebody.
Um, yeah, I expected them to beat Poland, and that was their only. I figured that'd be the only point they'd get out of the group, or the only points, because Sweden has talent on their team, and Spain is very good. So I expected.
Spain
I
is
did.
good, but they've fallen off from what they
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
I don't know what they need
Things have gone downhill.
to get them back.
Ansu Fati.
I mean, I guess I don't know. They played extremely bad.
I mean, you look at their game against Croatia. Uh, that lineup, Unai Simon, who had a questionable mistake. Um, Gaia at left back, Laporte, Eric Garcia, Azpilicueta, who is getting up there in age, but he scored against Croatia. He actually performed pretty well. Um, they also have they have really young talent too. That I feel like they can be good in a few years if the talent develops. They have Danny Olmo. They have Pedri, Ferran Torres. I, Morata was really good for Juventus this year. I don't know what happened.
I mean, he just had a bad tournament. I mean,
Yeah,
there's been plenty of players that have just had bad tournaments so far.
Harry Kane.
I would say Harry Kane, Mbappe had an absolute shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Fernandez
Yeah,
didn't play to his maximum standard. I still think he played good
I think
considering the
he
stats that he had. He had like the most
played.
chances created for
Okay, I'll
Portugal
say
and
this:
things like that.
he played as well as he could at a center mid role because he plays attacking mid for United, and that's why he
Mhm.
does so well. And he was put in a center mid role because the way that Portugal line up, it's a 4-3-3, and there's no attacking mid in that midfield three. It's a defensive mid. So he did his best that he could at center mid.
Yeah, I didn't
But
think he played as bad as what everybody else says, saying that he did. I mean, I get it. He didn't like score the goals and assist crazy goals like he
Portugal in
normally
general just
does.
had a bad tournament.
I mean,
Not like horrible, but not what they could have had.
and then Ronaldo announced that the 2022 World Cup will be his last
Hmm.
international tournament.
Which is
So
sad. Yeah,
that
that's
is
sad.
kind of sad. But I mean, he's still the leading goal scorer of the Euros so far.
True.
Definitely not because he scored 3 penalties.
No, he scored two against France.
Yeah. And then I'm
He
pretty sure
scored
he scored one
one against
more.
Hungary. He scored one against Hungary.
Now, Hungary,
While we're on Portugal, Group F, the quote unquote group of death that is no longer in the tournament at all. I just want to throw that out there.
Hungary, if they would have been in any other group,
I
I
feel like
feel like they would have went through
if
based
they
on how
had
they
been
played.
if they had been in the in Group A with Wales, Switzerland, I say if you switch Turkey and Hungary goes through over Wales. That's because they played good against Portugal for 80 minutes,
I mean, they
and
drew
then they drew France. I knew that.
France, like the defending World Cup champs. That's
Yeah,
nutty. And then did they draw? They drew Germany, right?
yeah, they held Germany. Yeah, that Germany game, Hungary should have won that. I think Goretzka bailed out Germany because it was 2-1 until the 84th minute, and then Goretzka scored. But had Hungary won that game, they would have gone through over Germany. They would have finished in third.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that Hungary got 2 points in that group, and
Yeah,
arguably they should have had more.
and
I
it's what's even crazier? I, it was called the group of death because France, Germany, and Portugal, but they all went out first round of 16. Germany to England. England was clearly a better team. France and Switzerland. France just didn't hold the lead at all. Like it got 3-1 and then they just let it slip. And then Portugal, Belgium, I guess, say what you want about that game. Belgium is the number one ranked team for a reason.
mean, they are very good. And I mean, that just gives us the transition to the round of 16. So just
Yeah.
looking at it, I mean, Denmark beating Wales, I didn't think it would be 4-0. But
No.
when I saw that that was going to be the fixture, I kind of figured that Denmark would beat
I knew.
Wales. It
Yeah.
was actually a favorable draw for Wales,
Yeah. If Wales had somehow won that game, they'd be in a pretty good position.
but I mean, it's a Denmark team without Ericsson, so they could
Yeah.
have definitely beaten them if they
But
played to
the
their
only
maximum ability. But
Dolberg had a brace, and the only reason he started was because Poulsen got injured. So Dolberg started, and he scored a brace. He actually performed really well too.
and
Um,
then looking at like Italy, Austria,
that was a good game to watch.
it was a good game. It went to extra time, and
Chiesa, I I hate the English media kind of. Chiesa's better than Foden. I'm just gonna throw that out there because there were points in time. I guess you saw it in the Italy game because he rescued Italy. But there were points and times for Juventus this season where Ronaldo went missing and Chiesa saved that Juventus side.
Anytime I get to slander a City player, I'm completely down to do it. So I would have to agree. I think that Chiesa's had a great year. Foden has also had a great year. But then my next question is, can they continue to do it?
Yeah. And I guess a point in that argument would be if you throw Foden into that Juventus team, can he rescue Juventus the way Chiesa did? And oppositely, if you throw Chiesa into that Man City team with all those superstars, does he perform the same way Foden did?
Or does he even stand out as much as Foden did?
Yeah.
Granted, Foden stood out because he's English. So that helps that he performed well and he was English.
Yeah. He's
But-
actually he's also really good too.
Oh, he's extremely good. But my problem is you have people like Aiden who say that Foden is miles clear of like Marcus Rashford. And I'm like, yes, this season he arguably played better. Rashford still had a decent year, not as good as he has played,
No.
but
guess-
Rashford has done it since he was 17 years old. He's been consistent.
Yeah.
And
Didn't he score in his debut?
yeah. So he's been great for us since his teenage years. I mean, and he's only 23, so he's not even in his prime yet.
Yeah.
But
No,
I think we overplay him, but that's a different story. We can talk about that another time.
No, but Chiesa is different. He's insane.
Now, my biggest shock of the round of 16.
I'd say second biggest.
The Czech Republic beating Netherlands.
That De Ligt red card kind of lost the game for the Netherlands. Did you see it when it happened?
I was not watching it. I think I don't know what I was doing.
So he was falling over. Like this was going towards the Netherlands goal. He was falling over. And as he was falling, like he goes to put his hand down. I'm defending him because I have his jersey on. But he goes to put his hand, I guess, to brace himself. He does kind of slap the ball between his legs, and it straight red card, obviously. There's not much you can defend it, but the only defense for that I can see is he has to try and brace his fall.
Yeah, but
still the slapping.
You kind of can't brace your fall on the ball.
You slaps the ball like hand going under and scooping.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's just shocking to me that the Czech Republic are still in this tournament. I mean, I knew they would be decent, but I didn't know.
Patrick Schick.
It's just Schick carry. I mean, Belgium and Portugal. A good game to watch. I did watch this one. I think I was driving somewhere for the Netherlands and Czech Republic game, but I did watch the Belgium-Portugal game. And
I think it has to be said, kind of jokingly, if this game had gone to penalties, I think Portugal has the upper hand because of Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. But
I mean, the Man United dream duo of Fernandes and Pinaldo. You take them to penalties, it's game over. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but the Belgian back line I didn't think would perform as well as they did, seeing as it's Vertonghen, Vermaelen, and Alderweireld.
I didn't think I heard that they came into this ranked the number 1 team in the world.
Yeah.
I was kind of confused because definitely I think looking at an entire squad, I think France had the most stacked team here. Now, Belgium's team is good, but I think from name one on the team sheet to the last one, I think France had the most elite team here.
Yeah.
And I think they have the
No.
most elite team in the world.
Yeah. I just don't think I don't know what went wrong with France, but we can get to that in a minute. The next game was Spain and Croatia. That was a really good game to watch. That was a very enjoyable game
I wish I could have watched it.
because you have the own goal at the start. They credited Pedri with the own goal, but I think I thought it hit off the foot of Unai Simon when he passed it back. But that's a goalkeeper error every day of the week because you can't be miscontrolling it when you're in front of your own goal. I don't know. And then you have Spain going up 3-1 and then Croatia tying it, sending it to extra time. And then Morata, for a man who missed as many chances as he did, having the composure to score. And then Oyarzabal ended the game. So,
Yeah, I can't really comment much on that game because I didn't watch it, of course. I mean, it seems very thrilling to me that it was 3-1 and then 3-3 going to extra time and it finished 5-3. That's just a nutty game.
yeah.
But speaking of a nutty game that I did catch the end of and
Mhm.
rewatched the beginning, France and Switzerland.
Yeah.
What a game.
That was an amazing game. And not only the first Switzerland goal, everyone kind of like when it happened, you're like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. And then Switzerland get a penalty, and you're like, oh no. And then you're kind of on the edge of your seat. Rodriguez misses the penalty, and then 2 minutes later, Benzema scores. And then 2 minutes after that, Benzema scores again, and you're like, okay, this is how I imagine the game going. And then
Yeah.
out of nowhere, Pogba.
Pogba scores an absolute worldy.
I think it has to be said, Pogba for France is miles ahead of Pogba for United. I don't know about you, but I think Pogba needs to leave United.
I think that if United really wanted to get the most out of him, they would sign a world-class defensive midfielder to play beside him, because you got to think in this France side,
When
he
plays,
has Conte beside him. So
yeah,
he feels like he has more freedom to create and go forward.
express himself because he's a very expressive player going forward. And yeah, like you said, in that French team with Conte beside him, he can do things like what he did against Switzerland. But speaking of Switzerland, I think it has to be said the willpower to stay in the game after that happening. Seferovic scores again, and then in the 90th minute to tie it, and not only to tie it, but throughout extra time to last the 30 minutes and withhold France, sending it to penalties, and then scoring every single one that you take.
Yeah. I mean, speechless. I didn't think that they could do it.
No. And when I saw Mbappe take that penalty and then Sommer dove the right way, I was like, the criticism is going to be off the charts.
Well, I was sitting next to Colton watching it, and I told him when I saw that Mbappe was taking the fifth kick, I was like, he's going to miss. I was like, I just kind of knew. He's still so young. I don't think he's quite.
I mean, he scored in the World Cup final.
Yeah, but
this was more pressure. I think a penalty shootout, and you're taking the fifth one, and it's score or go home at that point because Switzerland had already made their fifth one.
The World Cup final is one thing, but this is his second major final that he's kind of had a choke job in. Or, well, this wasn't the finals, but major tournament that
Yeah,
he's had an absolute choke in.
because the UCL final last year, he had
Yeah,
he had that golden opportunity and he took it straight at Neuer. That I feel like that would have changed the game. I feel like if he had scored that, PSG probably score one or two more, and
I
then that.
agree.
But that's besides the point. But he just
I mean, he's still a world class
he's gonna
player.
bounce back. He'll bounce back.
Oh, he'll break so many more records, and especially if he stays at PSG, where he can just drop 30
I don't.
goals a year because they're in the French league. And
But is he gonna leave though? Because he's not. I don't think he signed a contract extension.
I think if he wants to prove that he is one of the best players in the world, he needs to move to England or Spain.
Real Madrid. If he wants to if he wants to come close, I feel like here's how I want things to go down. I would like to see Holland at Barca and Mbappe at Real, but Barca's not going to buy Holland because they already have Depay and Aguero. So, best case scenario, we see Real Madrid offload some this summer and buy Mbappe, and then I don't know where Holland goes from here. Speaking of which,
I don't think he's going anywhere this summer. The only team I've heard mentioned with his name is Chelsea, and that died down after like a couple
yeah,
days of hype.
if he does go to Chelsea though, I think he wins the Golden Boot in his first year in the Prem.
See, but we said that last year about Timo Werner.
Yeah, but I feel like here's the thing with Timo Werner. I genuinely just don't know what went wrong. But he'll be back this year.
I
Timo
think
Werner,
I think that Timo Werner is still an elite player because you watch his movement in games.
he's so good.
The fact that he has these opportunities for him to choke and miss just proves that, I mean, he's getting in the right position to do it.
Yeah, like
It's just
his runs and his movement off the
finishing
ball,
it.
like that dummy run in the UCL final that set up the Havertz goal. And then just to have the football IQ to do that, it's just he's an elite player. He'll be back. He'll be
Yeah,
back.
he'll be back. And then to close it out, because I think we're running pretty long here, surprisingly.
Yeah,
I didn't think with the two of us that we could go this long, but
I didn't think we'd manage this long, but
we've kind of had to recap the entire Euros because
yeah. Well,
it's been what 3 months since we've put out an episode. So
yeah. But as you said earlier, it's coming home. That England performance today is pretty convincing. At the first 15 minutes, I thought Germany were going to be the better team, but then England started countering and doing really well. I think a big thing that helped, as much as I make fun of him, Harry Maguire being back in the England team helped a lot because he's a leader. He's a natural leader.
he's a leader, and as much as people make fun of him, he is a elite 2 world-class center back.
Oh,
As much as he's a meme,
I don't know if they win the Euros, I'll think about it.
if you watch, if we sign Rafael Varane to play beside him, he will be an entirely different caliber player. It's the fact that he has to
make up for
puppy
Lindelof.
guard Lindelof in the back.
Lindelof played all right, I thought, this tournament though.
He's played okay, but no offense to Sweden, but when you're playing in that back line, it doesn't take a whole lot to stand out.
Yeah. No, but Maguire played extremely well today. And another player who I wanted to start but came on and assisted the second goal, Jack Grealish. I was questioning why Bukayo Saka had a good game against the Czech Republic. I know that, but has Sancho touched the field?
Sancho's played no minutes. And then I think
That's just
Marcus Rashford came on as a sub in one game and played like the last 20.
that's
And
just
that's the only time
baffling.
that they've played.
I don't see how Sancho hasn't gotten any minutes. But then again, he hasn't really been excellent for England. Like we've seen him do it at Borussia Dortmund. But I don't think he's ever really stood out for England when he's played.
I think a lot of it has to do with just how much
Gareth,
stuff is going around with him transferring.
and
And
plus
I
Gareth
think,
Southgate is just
yeah, he
weird.
just has an agenda that he likes certain players.
There's
Like Eric Dyer. I'm surprised he's not here. That man absolutely loves Eric
I'm surprised
Dyer.
when Trent
Like,
when Trent didn't when Trent went out. I'm surprised he didn't call up Eric Dyer, but no, he called up Ben White. Ben White didn't even make the England team for the Germany game.
yeah, I
Connor Cody was on the bench instead of him.
I don't even know what he's doing. But
I don't know how James
my God,
Tarkowski doesn't get an England call up over Ben White, if I'm honest with you.
if England choke this opportunity to make it to the finals in this tournament, this will be the biggest bottle job anyone has ever seen.
Southgate has to go. If they don't make it to the final, Southgate has to go.
Because I'm looking at the bracket right now. They play Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And if they win that game, they play the winner of the Czech Republic and Denmark.
Yeah. Which, if it's the Czech Republic, they should win again. If it's Denmark, I don't know. It depends on how Denmark plays. Because that Denmark team against Russia, I think it was, where they won 4-1. Was that no, that was their round of 16 game. Where they won 4-1. Who'd they
4-0.
play?
They played Wales, beat Wales 4-0, and then
4-0.
they beat Russia 4-1.
Oh yeah, I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but they've been playing actually really well, despite all the circumstances upon which they're still playing.
I feel like that semifinal game is going to be England against Denmark.
I felt, yeah, and then I can see if England doesn't make it, I don't know.
If Denmark play in the finals, whoever they play is probably going to win, because you got to think
it's Switzerland, Spain, Belgium, Italy.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm gonna go bold here. Italy's gonna beat Belgium. I think Italy's gonna win that game.
I think that game is going to be very close and could go either way, but I have to tend to agree with you that I think Italy will beat them. I just don't think that they're that good.
I think
Belgium,
Italy,
unless
Belgium hasn't been performing like the number one team in the world.
Lukaku
carry. That's what it'll have to be. Because
comes
De Bruyne
out
is hurt. De Bruyne is out
and plays like he can.
Yeah. No, but De Bruyne and Hazard both got ruled out. So it's going to have to be.
But the better Hazard's still there. So
Thorgan, yeah.
Thorgan's
I really
better.
wanted Eden to score. I really wanted Eden Hazard to perform well at this tournament. I wanted him to be back.
I don't know
he
if
needs
he ever
to move
will
from
be.
Real Madrid. He needs to move from Madrid.
He needs to move somewhere that he can stay healthy. Because, I don't even know if he's played a string of 15 games since he's moved to Real Madrid.
I don't know.
Without being hurt. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think he's missed more games than he's definitely missed more games than he's played in the past.
I think so too.
No, but I think Spain beats Switzerland. I think now that Morata has the goal, I think he has confidence back now. I think he'll score 1 or 2.
I think we'll be looking at a Italy-England final is what my
and then Southgate just needs to not be stupid. Because if England make that final, Grealish has to start.
I think if ever you were going to start Grealish and Sancho together, that's the game. I think Sancho will get a game out of these next two. I think
Yeah.
he will start one of them because honestly, they could play the
Now's the
backups
time to
against
do it.
Ukraine. I don't want to disrespect Ukraine.
These are the two games in which you do it though, because you've defeated Germany, and that was the hardest opponent on this side of the bracket, arguably.
And
So
I mean the Netherlands, but the fact that they bowed out to
they got
the Czech
bounced.
Republic is
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But I can see England winning the final. As much as it's gonna be a meme when they do, I can see them winning the final against Italy. The only way that I see them losing is if they concede early. If they concede early, that Italy team's just gonna. I feel like they can. That Italy team has the strength to just sit on the ball and play possession.
If they play Italy in the final, like we both think, and Italy scores 2 goals, Italy will win.
Yeah.
Because their back line is so hard to break down. I don't know if England can score twice.
Yeah. And here's why I think in that Italy final game, you start Sancho and Grealish because they are so skillful. And all respect to Italy, but that defense is clunky. They're slow. They're good defenders, but the skill of Sancho and Grealish, I think they have the ability to get in behind that defense and cause problems.
I would agree, but
and I'm going to say it now. The final, England's going to win. It's going to be 3-1 England.
You're saying 3-1 England?
Yes.
I'm going to have to say a 1-1 game and England wins on PKs.
Oh, gosh.
That's my prediction. As long as they sub Sterling out and don't let him touch a PK, it'll be okay.
No. I feel like if they start Grealish and Sancho, they'll win that game. That's all they need.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you can get away with starting Bukayo Saka in the final.
Yeah, no. I think that they need to have creativity there in order for them to win. And no shots at Bukayo Saka, but he's just not the same caliber player as a Grealish or a Sancho is.
Yeah. And I mean, you saw it in the Germany game. As soon as Jack Grealish came on, that's where both of those opportunities came from. So
Yep. Grealish created everything.
If he starts, they'll do well.
He should start.
Yeah.
Southgate should have seen after this last game that
without
him, they're nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all that I have to talk about. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think we got everything.
All right. I guess we'll close here for now and we'll come back and we'll talk about probably the Copa America next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun.
All right.
Adios.
See you guys.